Okay, good morning. Hello. Let me go ahead and share this picture with you. See if you can see that. No. Can you see that? Trying to get the angle right. Get the stop sign here. And we will work it out. All right. How about that? There you go. After receiving your, I have to read it backwards because of the way that the video works. But that is what they said to me. So the decision is final, and you will no longer be able to use Quora. Banned for life. All right, let me situate this. My stop sign. Put my phone back in the situation here, and plug her in. All right, it's all good. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. It's all fine. I don't know what Kurt. Oh, Kurt. Yeah, Kurt. I'm sorry to be curt with you, but you're banned for life. You, sir, may never use Quora again. Ever. Final decision. That's my final answer. We're trying to do something special here, and you were messing it up. We're not going to pay you any of that money you earned because you have violated our be nice and be kind policy. Even though there's a bunch of sodomites and Gomorrans on our website that violate that policy in the most egregious ways every single second of the day. No, they get to keep theirs because we have something special going on here at Quora, and you're not going to be part of it. Anyway, so Quora's, I had only accrued like $2, but based on the number of questions that I gave those guys, I was going to make about, based on it right now, I would make about $60 over the course of 12 months. But anyway, completely meaningless. It really is. Every day, we get to see the meaningless of things. Let me tell you what's not meaningless. Let me tell you about an unpaid sponsorship. Now, I'm not sponsored. You guys know that. Come on now. Nobody gets sponsored at 300 subscribers. Are you kidding me? However, I got a birthday gift. And, I should have drinking water this morning. Ugh. See, I think that makes a big difference on my day. So I got a birthday gift. I'll drink water. I'll get a bottle of water when I go to work. Or get to work. Because I'm going now, you know. Bevel. 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 It's a safety blade type razor, double-edged. And it's a neat design. Fans vacuum pressed areas. I don't know what you call this thing. Container holder area. Like this bottle goes here, this bottle goes here, this bottle goes here. The brush. So what was really funny about it all was it was as if the person that designed the insert that would hold all the bottles and the face lathering brush, they didn't communicate very well because they didn't do a specific spot for the brush. So it looked goofy, even though the brush was definitely supposed to be part of the group package thingy. But anyway, this bevel thing, I've used like a 3 gosh, when I started shaving, I think by the time I started shaving in the early 2000s, like 2002 was probably the first time I started shaving. I had an electric razor, probably used that for a little while. I switched to a blade. By the time I switched to a blade, I was using a triple blade. Mach 3 was brand new. 4 blade and 5 blade had never even been thought of. Well, I mean, probably been thought of. It just wasn't in the market. Then I had a beard growth, let my beard grow out, stuff like that too. But when I did shave, it's what I would use. And so it's very foreign to me to use a single blade, old-fashioned razor. But I have to say the results are really, really worth it. At first, you're like, well, I can feel my hair. And you're like, well, that's no good. But the trade-off with your hair not being below the surface of the skin is you don't have any worries about ingrown hairs. And then let me put that down. Ingrown hairs become way less of a problem, which is great. And then even more importantly is the shave is literally perfect. Perfectly consistent everywhere. It's the exact same length. And one of the worst things about the quad blade that I never realized using this new method is that the quad blade, triple blade, all that stuff, it'll be really tight to the skin, below the skin, basically, in some areas, and then higher in others. And I always thought, well, I'm just not good at shaving. You know, I shouldn't be able to feel any hair anywhere after I shave. And that's just not, that's just not the way it is. Now, with the single blade, you can apparently go over it a second time to get it even lower. It's not necessary because what it is, though, if you go with the direction of the hair and you feel like it's smooth as all can be, it's almost like, I don't know, the multi-blade thing, I'll probably never go back. Seriously. What I did was use one side of the razor for one shave, use the other side of the razor for the second shave. So I'll be using 2 blades a week. I mean, 1 blade a week. 1 blade a week. 20 blades are $10. 20 blades are $10. So 25 bucks a year. It's not really that bad, and really and truly that's less expensive than I don't know. I might be able to get them cheaper on Amazon than at Target. Probably. I don't know. But I like it. And none of you probably care about this silly topic. So last night I did a video on Mark 1 through 5 and basically just read. There were a couple of moments that I was just like, well, this is serious. This is really serious stuff here. And I bet it's not alive right now. So yesterday, I've been having a lot of problems with my laptop. Yesterday I was streaming on the way home and the laptop just died. And I had kept on talking. I found out later for 7 additional minutes. And all the stuff that I said, I really actually wanted to be recorded. I really thought that I was sharing some good stuff. I got into some good philosophy and topics, and it's all lost. The 1,000 subscriber thing has been a sore spot because it really drastically affects what you I have my cell phone that's a hotspot, for my laptop that has a camera plugged into it. And though I'm probably getting better image quality out of this, it's a very convoluted, cumbersome setup in a car. It just is. And yeah, it's not a big deal. Just do what I can do, and hopefully continue to do what I want to do, which is provide value and share the truths of God and the living of the Christian life with as many people as I can. And you know, the other goal, of course, that you guys already know, that have been here for a while, is for me to become rich and famous as a YouTube star on the level of PewDiePie, more than likely. So you guys already know that that's one of my goals. And until I get 500 million subscribers or 600, you know, I mean, the only stopping point really and truly is 15% of the world, the entire world. So when I get to like 1.5 billion subscribers, I think I'll be satisfied then. I mean, that seems like a fair stopping point. There becomes a point when it is just too much. Yeah, so anyway. It's a weird feeling, though, to be able to participate in the experience of being banned. It is a weird feeling. You've been banned for life because of the things you said. Was I threatening people's livelihood and or life? Nope. Not. That ain't me, bro. That ain't me. Was I calling people names or pejoratives? Nope. Was I cussing people out on Quora? Nope. Was I proclaiming the gospel? Yeah. Was I unashamedly answering questions about the Bible and just stating facts and truth? Yeah, sure was. And yeah. And was I asking questions that probably came across as stirring the pot? You better believe it. Were they unfounded or unmerited questions? Absolutely not. And is Quora still benefiting from the questions that I asked because they didn't remove my questions? They just removed me and my ability to earn what they claimed I could earn by asking those questions. Nope, they're still gaining. They're still earning based on the questions and answers that got me banned for life. So hypocrisy is not a surprise, though, guys. I mean, seriously? I mean, what's really a surprise is when someone's not a hypocrite. That's actually a surprise. Why do you do what? Why do you do that? What is even happening? That's really the big surprise, is when somebody's not a hypocrite. Just saying. When somebody says they're going to do something and they do it, you're like, what? Well, yeah, good job and stuff. I mean, I didn't expect you to actually keep your word, but that's great. Yeah. So, anyway, good morning, everyone. Had a fun stream last night. Did the mark 1 through 5, and then I got on a tangent and started looking up Romans 16:7 and commentaries thereof. And it has been a vastly ignored section of scripture over the centuries. And it's kind of funny. It is kind of funny. So, funny as in Okay, not funny. It's kind of sad. It's kind of weird. But it's okay. We're not going to be afraid of any part of Scripture. The difficult passages, any of it. We're just going to read it and keep reading, keep learning, keep studying. Yeah. So I keep on mentioning that my birthday, I got an early birthday present. So nobody here knows when my birthday is yet. But you can find it out. I might have said it before. A birthday, common relative, we have a common ancestor. I'm not a direct descendant of. I'm a relative in regards of sharing a common ancestor, and that would be Jefferson Davis. And I share my birthday with that man. So there you go. We weren't born the same year, Jefferson Davis and I, but close. I look a lot younger than I am. Just saying. I mean, it's true. It is true. I look a lot younger than I actually am. But anyway, that's happening. So just know, becoming patrons on Patreon or by PayPal, really just go to Feed My Family. I had made a list. This is kind of interesting. A couple of years ago, I had made a list of all of the people that had sent birthday gifts and financial assistance and all these things over the years. I had accumulated a total of all the money that we used to buy groceries instead of like, oh, go treat yourself. And we were like, almost every single time, it was a situation where we really needed the money for groceries just to survive. Kids' birthdays, get them something nice. We're like, yeah, something nice would be not starving to death this month. So thank you for the gift. And all right. And I had made this list hoping to make it right. Well, they had wanted this to be used for, so someday I might be able to do that thing. And, there's a level of superstitionness, I guess, to that, or something. I don't know what that is. Hoping to do right by somebody's request. It's just weird. And that should be an indicator, I guess, that I'm not, I don't ask for assistance from my family unless it's an absolute nightmarish emergency, which has happened 2 or 3 times in my decade of marriage, and 0 times before marriage, because obligations are much less when you're a bachelor, and when overhead expenses are $220 a month. So when I was a bachelor, I had 3 roommates, all college friends, and we all were living in the same city that I was going to grad school in, and we just we were able to save a whole lot more money that way and survive on, a Starbucks income. And, one of them worked at Enterprise and the other worked at Aaron's at Circuit City and then Aaron's. And then the other one worked at JCPenney, jewelry sales. And I worked at Starbucks. So we all had pretty couple jobs. The dude that was working at Enterprise was making good because they take care of their people. He ended up becoming some kind of financial advisor or something or other for making $80, $90, $100 and something dollars, $100 something $1,000. I mean, the dude that worked at JCPenney wound up making over $100,000, and the dude that was working at Aaron's got a federal government job, and he wound up making, I don't know, $70,000, $80,000. And I abhorred the system and never got my license to become a counselor. And because I refused to submit to the rules, I refused to engage in a system that would revoke your licensure if you tried to counsel somebody out of homosexuality. I said, nope, I'm not even going to give them a chance to revoke my licensure. I'm not going to do that because I didn't want to have the opportunity to be banned for life, which Quora is meaningless. It was fun. I mean, it was fun to be able to engage and get the perspective of people that I don't understand, Sodomites and Gomorrans. I don't have very many opportunities to hear the perspectives and ideas of those psychopaths. Well, how do you call them psychopaths? I mean, you're supposed to be preaching the gospel to them. That's true, and I did. That doesn't stop them from being psychopaths just because we're supposed to preach the gospel to them. They are literally insane. Literally, in the most literal sense, denying reality. That is evident. It's very clear. But anyway, it's all done. It's all over. It is funny, though, that all of those folks that I was living with went on to accept and become part of the system, to play the game, and financially win. The irony, well, not irony necessarily, but the caveat to that is there is a catch, and I learned that, so I don't have regrets. The catch is that it's a different kind of slavery. You know, I feel restricted in that I'm financially unable to do most of anything I want to do. However, I'm not restricted from saying what I want and doing what I want morally or ethically or any of that. Now, the other folks, they can't speak against CNN or that realm of things without threatening their role and threatening their six-figure salary. So it comes at a cost, and that's one of the things that I've learned and realized through time is that everything comes with a cost. And, you know, I would definitely like to make enough to eat, buy food. That seems like a normal bare minimum. But all the extra fancy pants stuff, it's all good. I'm fine. I'll buy my pair of pants or something like it once every 1 or 2 years. I'll buy my one or two dress pants, and I'll buy a new suit every 10 years or so. And that's good enough for me. I like shirts. Like TJ Maxx, you know. I do that every couple of years. But anyway, so I was heavily discouraged yesterday after having a conversation with some of the management folks just about the details. And I put, you know, the videos there and all that. And but it got cut off and all that. but I have a sort of a renewal of encouragement, a little bit more fight in me, where I'm like, no, I'm going to work really hard. And I'm also going to apply for other positions and just see what happens. So I've been focused on just trying to succeed and proceed within the company that I'm working for, because I have not had company longevity for most of my life, and I really thought that I should do that. But again, it might not be that. It might not be. I don't know. I don't have 23 months is the most time I've ever spent with a company under one employer. And when you have longevity between 11 and 23 months, repeatedly, and 13 different jobs, or 14, I can't even remember at this point, it just doesn't look very well to the recruiters. They're like, oh, this guy's a flake. They don't take into consideration anything because it's a pattern. Patterns are truth. No, they're not. No. There's more than one conclusion that you can draw from a pattern. And there are exceptions to situations. So, but that's not how the world thinks. So, got to manipulate and figure it out and work around the system and all that good stuff. And the primary answer I've been getting is networking. Networking is everything, according to them. So schmoozing, which I'm not really great at. On a one-on-one level, if somebody's not acting like a Gamoran, then I can get along with a billionaire, which I've met and rubbed shoulders with. I can have a fine conversation, even a intimate conversation with, because I don't look at them as different than me. And as long as they don't look at me as different than them, we can have a fine conversation. It's when they think that I am lesser, and those kinds of prejudices and assumptions that really mess up the ability to have a true, meaningful conversation and or relationship. But you just do what you do, and you don't give in to other people's badness. It's the gist. But yeah, getting into the networking scene and rubbing shoulders, bumping elbows, all that stuff. I'm not a fan of schmoozing. It's just not. Because I'm like, it should be evident. My awesomeness should be evident, sir. I've saved your company. I've saved my business unit, sir, about 20%. And quantify that, sir. I've saved more than my own salary 2 times over for my business unit in perpetuity. What have you done, sir? They pay you the fancy pants salary. What have you done? Have you saved the company twice your salary, year over year, in perpetuity? Have you? I mean, maybe you have. That's why maybe you deserve what you got. There are so many people, guys, provably getting what they don't deserve. And there are also so many of us, myself included, not having gotten what we deserved. So we have to temper the concept of, well, so many people are getting undeserved awesomeness. It's not awesomeness, for nonsense, but so many people are having it hypothetically easier, and then you have to go, oh yeah, wait. Then there's the things that we haven't gotten that we do deserve. That's important to think about too. And then the other thing that I keep on liking to bring up for myself and others, to hope that you're getting this message, is everything comes at a cost. That cost can be your integrity. That cost can be your morality. That cost can be simply time. You know, the guy that spends 70 hours, 80 hours, 90 hours outside of the home, time. That cost to have the fancy pants and all that stuff can be just relationship itself. Maybe because the fancy pants, this person was never even able to develop a relationship. Now, granted, those three roommates that I used to have, they're all married. Whether that be happy and holy in their marriage, how can I really know? I can't, truly. But I do know what I have. And I know that what I have is something that I would not trade for fancy pants at all. I wouldn't even trade what I have for, the money that I need to buy food. I wouldn't trade what I have for any earthly thing. Now, I would obviously be obedient to Christ and abandon all earthly relationships and all things for his sake. And my wife knows that. But when it comes to earthly things, monetary, material, there's not a chance in the world that I would trade my wife or kids for anything on this planet. So there's that, and that's a good thing. If somebody was like, $10 trillion, all yours, no strings attached, except for one. You have to leave your family forever. That's the only condition. $10 trillion. Think of the country. No. Nope. Guys, are you kidding me? It's not even the love that I have for my wife and kids that would prevent me from doing that. It's the knowledge of traps and the knowledge of deception that makes that such a no-brainer, easy decision. Truly, that's not hard at all. Some people obviously would kind of go on the lines of, well, you take the $10 trillion and you take a portion of it, a tiny portion, obviously. I mean, just $1 billion, and you buy an army for a couple billion, and you just take out everybody that would have held you accountable to the contract. And it's obviously an insane scenario in the first place, but still, nope, because it doesn't matter if the contract is void. It's what you did on a spiritual level, and you can't undo that in that hypothetical. So Quora can't take away my ability to ask hypothetical questions and give hypothetical answers. They can say I'm banned for life, but that doesn't stop me from being able to ask questions. Banned for life. It's just, it's funny and insignificant. Now, if you want to lessen the sting for me, and send me $2 to make up for my heartbreak of all the money that I didn't make, and they just took away from me. $2 is about where I was at. It was like $1.91. So, if one of you wants to lessen the burn, that would be fantastic. Because it's hurting hard. I was planning on cashing out when it got to, $2.50. I bet there was probably a rule that you had to have over $20 in the account before you could cash it out. I don't know how all that works, but I'll never have to worry about that now. They just went ahead and severed the relationship. That makes things a lot easier. That's really a weird image. This person has a bunch of triangles and circles on their vehicle, and it looks extremely satanic and or pagan. I don't really want to turn the camera around, but maybe I should, just to show you what I'm talking about. Let's see here. They don't know what I'm doing anyway. Can you see the I don't know if you can really see the symbols. Let me see. I don't know. See how close I can get here without being a creep. Can you see now? Maybe-ish. I don't know. But yeah, it's like these triangles and circles, and it just looks really not kosher. I don't know though, because this is a guy that I've seen. I know who he is, and he carries a guitar with him everywhere he goes. Kind of like those guys that sleep with their basketball. This is a dude. He doesn't ever play it because you would hear it in an office like this. But he carries his guitar everywhere he goes. You had to take a left, didn't you? If you had been going straight, I would have been able to go. But, whatever. Can I go? Oh, see, I can't, because then the other people coming the other direction. It's just, this is a terrible intersection. It really needs a light. It really does. It would be much better if there was just a light. All these left turns and then the masses of people is just no good. It's not safe. And as some of you that have been here for a while, as in months, there was a car wreck at this intersection that I witnessed before I was live streaming, back in the days when I was just talking to myself. And that car wreck kind of just clarifies my need to be better safe than sorry. What's really crazy is this is actually insane, I think. I need to fix my way of thinking with this. But I'm more concerned about how, because of this being my only vehicle, how bad that would mess up my situation if I got in a wreck. It's my only vehicle, and I wouldn't, that would be a really terrible situation because, when you own your vehicle and then it's totaled, and it's a 2006, what are they going to give me? What's the insurance company really going to give me? And then the whole thing, I'm a fourth generation State Farm, whatever they call them, customer. Fourth generation. No, of course they would, because it's not what they care about. However, it would be a fun article to get published by the news. The news used to be interesting. There used to be personal stories. There used to be, Stossel, for instance. I like John Stossel-ish. He does a pretty good job with truth telling and stuff. Obviously, he's got some issues, like we all do. But he's one of the few journalists that does at least a good job. There was a dude in Atlanta that did like a Consumer Reports thing, and I'm forgetting his name. He was famous for years. I think I don't know. I haven't paid attention in many years, but talk about some fancy pants. I'll tell you what. All right. Is anybody still here? Is anything even still happening? My battery is running low, even though I'm plugged in. It just hates. My laptop won't charge, apparently, and that's why I wind up losing my streams, is because it dies, and the charging cord is jacked up. It's bad. It's not good. And that is the strangest vehicle. I guess you saw it a little bit. There was a black bus, and it was all, it's like it was put into a smoke chamber. I've talked about it before. That bus was stupid ridiculous. But it was filled with trash, just tons of trash in it. It was really weird. All right, well, I'm going to get into work, and you all have a fantastic life. Read your Bibles. Show the love of God to each other, and know the love of God for you in His Word, and recognize that His truth exceeds all of your worries, all of your concerns. God's love and truth covers all of it. So you need not be concerned, truly. So anyway, it looks like a really low number of folks, but it's not about the numbers. It's not about the numbers. Hopefully, I'm going to keep on reading in the book of Mark. It's a good book. I called him the TLDR Gospel. He just says it how it is and gets straight to the point. He's like the Cliff Notes. If you want the Cliff Notes to the Gospels, just read the book of Mark. Dude didn't like to be say any more than was necessary, I guess. It's just the way I would phrase it. Anyway, having to park across the street. It's all good. It's all good. Be going for my walk later and all that. All right, patreon.com/gospelbearer. I really would like to see some $1.11 patrons in there, guys. Seriously. It's $1.11. I know it's gimmicky, but it's $1.11. I mean, unless you're like, you have a promise ring and you're promising God that you'll never, ever use your credit card or debit card online, and you wear your promise ring every day, and you just don't want to ever do anything online financially, fine. If you've made a covenant with God to not give money online, keep your covenant with God, I guess. That's a weird one.